Good afternoon, friends and vinyl community. This is DJ Reed with another program regarding vinyl records. And today we're going to be looking at the Beatles near the end of 1964 during the Beatlemania craze. And today I'm going to be looking at first what's coming up in September. Does anyone remember the little nursery rhyme? London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down. We all remember that as kids, don't we? And this here is not London Bridge, but it's the Tower Bridge in London, England. And this is kind of I wanted to bring that out today because we're going to be looking at in September some of the Wings, Paul McCartney and Wings albums in the 1970s. During when Paul and the Beatles split in 1970 from the Beatles era, a new era of the 70s music began with the Beatles going in solo different directions, and Paul made a band called Wings, and by 1978 he had released a new album called London Town. And this poster in the background here, this is the poster from the album, and they had gone back to 3 members. They were originally 5 in the mid-70s, and but they've gone down to 3 members. And so these particular members are Linda McCartney on the left, Paul McCartney in the center, and Denny Lane on the right. These were the 3 main Wings members right from the get-go. And here near the end of the 1970s, they are still formed as that 3-band unit, still as solid as ever. And this is the album here, London Town, that was produced in 1978. They went even as far as the Fiji Islands on this album, but most of the tracks are mastered and produced in London, England. So the title track, of course, is the title London Town, with the Tower Bridge. There you are. And I seen this Tower Bridge when I was in London in 2001 and 2003 and 2004 and 2005. I did get to see the Tower Bridge on the Thames River, and this is featured on this album by Paul McCartney and Wings. And there's the tracks, if I can get it close there. You see on side 2, With a Little Luck, and London Town was a single also on side 1. And then right at the bottom, I've Had Enough is the other single. So this album produced 3 singles, 345 singles from this LP alone. And here's one of the singles that I have, and this is a British copy. See if I get it the right way here. Put it on this side. And there's London Town with the bridge, the Tower Bridge. The Tower Bridge was built in the late 1800s, and it has the little gate where the ships can go up through. The gates are raised where the ships can go through, and I think the towers stand over 200 feet tall, so you can see the Tower Bridge pretty far away actually. And on this side, The B side is the song I'm Carrying, and that song is significant because Paul and Linda had their second child, and so it's kind of in honor of her second child, I'm Carrying, with Stella McCartney being born. And so Paul in the song is giving a little gift to baby Stella on the song I'm Carrying. So it's a beautiful song too. It's an acoustic ballad, and it's beautiful. I don't know how many people have heard London Town, but the album, but I think it's a fantastic album. It's one of his best. And I have with me a British copy. This was made in Great Britain. See if I can get it in here good. There we are. You see the one is kind of on the black and white side, and then the other side is the colored. For some reason they put the black and white side as side A, and the B side is the colored side, which is interesting. But I do like the colored side. But it's a beautiful record I have here of the British pressing. So I'll be looking at the Wings in September, but for now we're going to focus on the Beatles near the end of 1964, and of course they were doing live concerts. Here's some of the photos. They were in September. They went to Philadelphia, and of course they would sit around having a lunch before they perform, and this is at the convention center in Philadelphia. And they did a news conference too. Usually before or after the concerts they would do these there's a nice photo there of them relaxing in Philadelphia. And they did a concert, and I have the record here. They have their concert in September of '64 with the amazing photos. And there's the song listing. Can't Buy Me Love, If I Fell, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Boys, A Hard Day's Night, Long Tall Sally, that's on side 2. And this is on the London Calling label. And if you've watched my programs before, you know I love color vinyl. DJ Reed loves colored vinyl. And it's in the same color format as the album. That's what they usually did on these London Calling. If it's purple, they did kind of a purple vinyl. It's clear and yet it's purplish, so it's a beautiful record. And during those times, there were other, here's another picture disc I have of the Beatles in the early days. Let me get that picture disc in there. And here's the other side, and it has a song listing of the early cuts they did during the Beatlemania days. See, slow down there, it might be hard to read. Don't Bother Me at the end there, at the bottom. And then there's all sorts of early tracks. I Saw Her Standing There, There's a Place. Goes down to Baby It's You and Love Me Do. And these tracks just play fantastic on this picture disc record I have of the Beatles. So. And near the end of 1964, the Beatles were tired lads, very tired lads, and but they had time to do an album on a studio album, and this is the famous album Beatles for Sale. Now this was not produced in Canada. It was a British and European marketing, but this is what they released. This is there's a picture of the Beatles there in a garden, and it's a famous. This sold 2 million copies. It was a big sell. There's 8 Days a Week on side 2. No Reply, I'm a Loser, Babies in Black. And the fourth cut there is Rock and Roll Music. Now, when Rock and Roll Music was done in finally produced, the people in Australia did a single on the song Rock and Roll Music by John Lennon and the Beatles. So here's the single, and this one went to #1. There's the lyrics of the songs. The flip side was Every Little Thing. If you can see that, Every Little Thing, the beautiful song, and that's the B side. But the A side is on the Odeon label, Rock and Roll Music by John Lennon, and this was released in Australia, and it went to #1 with the flip side, Every Little Thing. So that's a Japanese pressing there on the Odeon label. This is this Beatles for Sale is an original pressing on the from Germany. On the blue label, EMI Odeon. You can see it's in very good shape. Excellent shape. And also I have a 180 gram copy of this, and this is more of a gatefold. This you can buy in the stores today if you want. You can go to a record store and buy this one. They usually have it in stock. Great photos and the song listing, and the back side is kind of a famous photo too. So you can still get this one in stores, and this is on the Parlophone label. You see it's in perfect condition. So that's my show today. I hope you enjoyed the program featuring London Town and the Beatles near the end of 1964, making big records, big time records. Beatles for Sale was a big album. The next time we'll be looking at more of the things that went on in America during those days. So have a good day, and I wish you the very best. It's a beautiful day in Canada. Take care. Bye-bye now.